Well, hey guys, what's up? It's your boy, one and only Animation Legends, and yeah guys, today I am back with the next part of what if Naruto was neglected by his family and get the powers of the Otsutski clan. So yeah guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the previous part of the series, and if you guys have not seen it, please guys check it out. You guys will definitely like it, as I have already uploaded many parts of this series on my channel, so please guys check them out. And yeah guys, before starting this video, I would like to make a request to all of you guys who are watching this video. If you guys are new to the channel, or if you guys have not subscribed yet, please guys do so. I would really appreciate that, as I want to reach 20k subscribers on this channel, and you guys subscribing would be very helpful to me. So yeah guys, without any further ado, let us start the video. So yeah guys, without any further ado, let's start the video. Last time we left off as we saw that how Naruto has finally defeated Ishiki and absorbed all the powers of Ishiki for himself, as afterward Naruto finally returned back to the Shinobi world from where Ishiki has pulled Naruto into a separate dimension, as Naruto has gained all the powers of the Ishiki for himself, so therefore he can use these abilities now, as well, as Naruto finally returned back to the Shinobi world, as Black Zetsu, who was watching this, was in utter shock. That was Ishiki Otsutski. Black Zetsu cannot believe his eyes. That guy was supposed to be dead, killed by his mother, but now it seems that he has survived, as well as this Uzumaki boy, who has defeated Ishiki. He has to start up his plan as soon as possible. They cannot wait any longer. They have to start the plan and release the mother as soon as possible. Otherwise, if this Uzumaki Naruto is powerful enough to defeat Ishiki, then he would be a great threat to his mother. While Black Zetsu do not believe that Naruto would be able to defeat his mother, but Ishiki was powerful as an Otsutsuki, but was able to defeat him, which means that he was a threat on the level of the Otsutskis as well. So therefore, Black Zetsu quickly went off to manipulate the Akatsuki organization to gather the Bijus as soon as possible. While on the other hand, Naruto finally returned back to Konoha. Within Konoha, one figure has entered into the body of Meet Uzumaki. This was the figure of another fallen Otsutsuki clan member. Her name was Jashin. She was like a parasite that has resided in the shinobi world, using the sacrifices of others to increase her power. But since she has never planted a karma seal, she was never able to revive herself. But now, after getting all the power, she realized that this was a perfect opportunity. Naruto had the power of the Otsutsuki clan, but he was not a true Otsutsuki. So once she temporarily take over the body of this Mito Uzumaki, she would plant her karma seal on Naruto, therefore gaining the Otsutsuki power which he has. Then therefore she would be able to survive. Afterward, she decided to take over the body of Mito temporarily and fought a battle against Naruto in the forest of Death, but the battle was completely one-sided, as Naruto was far stronger than any other Otsutsuki, because he just did not gain all the bloodlines of the Shinobi world to gain the power of the Otsutsuki bloodline, but he has also absorbed the power of Ishiki, a true pure-blooded Otsutsuki clan member. So therefore, Naruto now has true powers of the Otsutsuki inside of him, and this only temporary power of a Otsutsuki clan member was not powerful enough to take down Naruto, as Naruto completely took down Mito Uzumaki. Afterward, Naruto decided to separate both of them, as Naruto brought out the soul power of this Jashin creature and finally absorbed all of her power for himself and becoming even stronger. While on the other hand, far away in the cosmos, two eyes were looking towards several figures. It seemed that the chakra signature of Ishiki has disappeared. Now it is time for you to return back to this planet and get me Kaguya, as well as whoever this person is who has killed off Ishiki to me, as this was the figure of one of the elders of the Otsutsuki clan member, and at the moment he was looking towards Momoshiki and Kinshiki, as they accepted the mission and finally went in the direction of the shinobi world to bring back Kaguya as well as the remains of Ishiki as soon as possible. So yeah guys, that was the last part of the series. So if you guys have not seen it, please guys check it out. So without any further ado, let us start the story. So now let us start the video from here. And at the moment Naruto was looking towards. As Naruto looked towards several of his clones, as Naruto smiled and started his own training. After all, Naruto has all the bloodlines in the shinobi world, as well as the experience of the relative persons, which Naruto turned into chakra fruits and absorbed their powers as well as their knowledge. But Naruto wants to create new techniques for himself. He was already able to create the various version of the Rasengan, but that was just normal. Naruto possessed so many bloodlines, and Naruto want to master and make his own version of the techniques from these bloodlines so not to make hundreds, if not thousands, of shadow clones and start training on these bloodlines as Naruto could feel that his power was growing at a rapid rate. Absorbing the powers of powerful shinobi as well as the members of the Uzumaki clan means nothing if Naruto himself do not strive to become stronger. After absorbing so many people and their potential, Naruto's own potential has skyrocketed. Even a small amount of training gives him tremendous amount of results. His chakra levels were still rising at a rapid rate, and at the moment Naruto believed that even if there were 10 tails, they would not be able to keep up with his chakra levels. Thinking of 10 tails, as Naruto frowned at that, he almost forgot about it. As Naruto disappeared from his training ground and finally arrived in a separate dimension. This was the dimension of Ishiki Otsutski. As Naruto finally arrived to a location, as at a cave, Naruto looked down upon a small farm of a 10 tails. Compared to the true 10 tails, this was nothing, but Naruto could feel that this was the true essence of the 10 tails, as Naruto believed that this creature will become stronger and stronger as Naruto. All it requires is time. As Naruto closes his eyes, the 10 tail is formed after Otsutsuki is sacrificed to the 10 tails, as well as after absorbing the natural energy of the planet, and finally an Otsutsuki is sacrificed to the 10 tails to create a true chakra fruit, just like the that other Otsutski, Kaguya Otsutsuki, did so with Ishiki's one half of the body. It's not to close his eyes. He has already sacrificed, absorbed the power of Ishiki. He wonders if only a member of the Otsutsuki clan turned into a chakra fruit, the power would be greater or if a ten-tail create a chakra fruit after the sacrifice of a Otsutsuki member, as Naruto closes his eyes, he needs to think about it. After all, there's no members of the Otsutsuki clan lying around for Naruto to sacrifice to the ten tails, and this ten tail is also rather weak. As Naruto disappeared from the location, this place is secure. After all, this was the dimension linked to Ishiki, therefore it was linked to Naruto, so no one can enter in this dimension that easily. While on the other hand, Naruto finally arrived in the shinobi world as Naruto closes his eyes and started to scan all the shinobi world, sensing the powerful chakra signatures of many shinobi. But after absorbing so many shinobi, so many Otsutsuki clan members started on Naruto honestly started to look down upon these shinobi. The powerful shinobi like Hashirama and Madara may have tremendous chakra amount, but one single Otsutsuki clan member possesses even further. As Naruto sighed, looking into the sky towards the moon, wondering. But suddenly, Naruto's eyes widened at that as Naruto activated his Rinnegan, as well as the combination of his Rinnegan, Rinne Sharingan, and Tensegan looking into the moon. Naruto could feel it. Something was in the moon. As Naruto disappeared from the shinobi world, while on the moon, Toneri was looking towards her elder, who was giving instructions to Toneri. Toneri, you are one of the purest member of the Otsutsuki clan member. We are the descendants of Hamura Otsutsuki, and you have gained his purest bloodline. You possess the pure power of the Otsutsuki clan members' chakra inside of you, and you are the future of the Otsutsuki. But before he could complete his sentence, boom! As a gigantic explosion took place on the moon, as a figure has finally landed on the moon. As Naruto looked in the direction, he never sensed it before, but it seemed that his vision was truly narrowed. He was only searching the shinobi world for powerful shinobi, but he never thought that he would be able to sense something like this on moon. While he know that Kaguya Otsutsuki is sealed inside of the moon, after absorbing the knowledge of Ishiki Otsutsuki, he knows that Hashirama and Hamura were the one who sealed away their mother, but he never knew that the members of the Otsutsuki clan member lies over the moon as well. As Naruto appeared in the area, he was already surrounded by the members of the so-called Otsutsuki clan member, though their bloodline resides more closely to that of the Hyuga clan. As Naruto ignored it, he looked in the direction where two figures came out of it. One was the figure of the elder of the Otsutsuki clan. The other figure, Naruto's eyes narrowed towards this blind guy. He possessed the purest form of the Otsutsuki bloodline. Naruto would know about it. After all, he has absorbed the power of Ishiki, who had the purest bloodline. Even that Jashin had the bloodline of the Otsutsuki, though it was corrupted thanks to so many dark power and sacrifices, and as such. But Naruto looked towards Toneri and a smile came to Naruto's face. He was wondering about the sacrifice for the 10 days. And look at that, a sacrifice has truly appeared here. Somehow this guy possessed one of the purest bloodline of the Otsutski clan, even in the original timeline, when Momoshiki and Kinshiki arrive in the shinobi world, they told Toneri that he has the purest Otsutski bloodline, so therefore he is qualified for the sacrifice to the Ten Tails. As Naruto smiled at that, you boy, come with me. As one of the elders of the Otsutski said, who are you? We do not know who you are, but we do not care. Leave at once, otherwise you will regret it. The elder of the Otsutsuki clan looked towards Naruto in utter shock. He could feel it, especially those eyes. Somehow he could feel the essence of the Tensegan as Naruto's eyes narrowed toward this elder, and his eyes went in the inside of this castle. Thanks to the Tensegan, he has the abilities of the Byakugan, and he could feel something similar to his own Tensegan power inside of this castle. As Naruto's eyes met with that of the Tensegan, the gigantic Tensegan that was present here. As Naruto looked toward the members of the Otsutsuki clan member that were present here, most of them were blind. It seemed that they have combined the power of their respective Byakugans and make this Tensegan. As Naruto smiled at that, they have done a good thing for Naruto. As Naruto disappeared from there within seconds, all the members of the Otsutsuki clan were sent flying. Even though their bloodline is far thinner than that of Toneri, but Naruto has saved them for now, and he has already put down all the members that were present here. Toneri tried to fight against Naruto using his pure chakra of the Otsutsuki clan, even though he did not have a dojutsu, but he was already powerful enough. But it was completely one-sided. One Shinra Tensei was enough to send Toneri flying. He even activated some kind of half-baked chakra cloak and the truth-seeking eyes, but Naruto possessed all these abilities and even greater abilities, and within seconds, Toneri was pinned down by Naruto's chakra rod. As Naruto looked towards all the members of the so-called Otsutsuki clan members, as Naruto scoffed at that, their bloodline was not even pure enough to that compare to Toneri. They were really nothing. As Naruto looked towards them, alright, enough of it, now turn. With that, Naruto activated his Rinne Tensegan Rinne Sharingan. With that, all of the members of the Otsutsuki clan member let out roars of pain and agony, and within seconds they have turned into a chakra fruit. As Naruto grabbed it and ate it away in a single bite, while on the other hand Toneri cannot see anything, but he was able to sense what he did. You are a monster. How dare you? As he screamed on top of his lung towards Naruto. As Naruto looked towards him, I would do same to you, but I want to tell something, and for that you need to be patient. With that, Naruto grabbed Toneri and disappeared from the location and finally arrived within castle, looking toward the gigantic of the form of the Tensegan. As Naruto frowned at that, the power was immense, but what to do with it? As Naruto thought about it for some time. As Naruto activated his own Tensegan, he could feel it. There was a connection between his own Tensegan as well as that of this gigantic Tensegan. As Naruto's eyes started to rotate, the Tensegan started to absorb this gigantic form of the Tensegan. Within seconds, the shyness of the huge Tensegan started to fade away as Naruto absorbed all the pupil power that resides within this gigantic form of a pupil dojutsu. As Naruto absorbed all the pupil power and Naruto could feel it, his own dojutsu, it is evolving even further after absorbing the power of all these Byakugans for himself. Toneri screamed at that this was a sacrifice of his own whole clan to make this one eye, this gigantic Tensegan, and now it was gone, taken away by this thief. Thief, you will not get away with this. Our ancestor will punish you. As Naruto scoffed at that, he grabbed Toneri and disappeared from the moon. There was nothing left behind. And one day he will absorb the creature that is sealed away inside of the seal as well. As Naruto thought in his mind as he disappeared from the moon and finally arrived within the shinobi world. As Naruto has already put away Toneri in a small dimension, the Ten Tails was not ready yet. So therefore, Naruto wanted to wait for the Ten Tail to evolve even further. And he needs to hurry this up, as Naruto thought in his mind. There was still time for the Chunin exam, as Naruto thought in his mind, and Naruto had a new idea. Even though Naruto could feel that a power similar to that of the Ten Tails has been summoned in the shinobi world far away, as Naruto could feel the presence of the Gedomazo, but the power of the Bijus belong to this Gadomazo. Naruto was wondering if he sacrifices the powers of the Biju to his own minor Ten Tails, would it be able to grow even faster? And Naruto thought in his mind and nodded nonetheless. It was a great thought. As Naruto finally decided to make his clones, and all the clones rushes in the direction of the Bijus. As Naruto's clone finally arrived to the respective location where all the 9 Bijus were present and started to use the abilities of their Rinnegan to cipher the chakra of the tail beast. The respective Bijus were shocked when they could feel that their chakra was siphoned off as they tried to resist, but the abilities of Naruto were simply too much. Even the Mokiton had the power to suppress the Bijus. Naruto's evolved Tensegan somehow gave him the ability to stop time for a few seconds, but it was more than enough as Naruto quickly absorbed a lot of power from the respective Bijus and finally arrived in the separate dimension where the Ten-Tail resides. The Ten-Tail looked towards Naruto. The Ten-Tail could feel the connection with Naruto thanks to Naruto absorbing the power of the Ishiki. As Naruto looked toward this ten tail and brought out the chakra of the one tail, the ten tail looked towards this chakra and he could feel it, the hunger towards this chakra as Naruto threw it towards the ten tail, who opened his mouth and absorbed the power of the one tail which Naruto has absorbed from the respective Bijus, even though it was not much, but it was an experiment after all. As Naruto threw the power of the two tails and then the three, four, five, six, and finally 8 and 9 tails, the 10 tail greedily absorbed this power and Naruto could feel it. This 10 tail was now absorbing the natural energy at a rapid rate. The power of this dimension, it was limited, but the 10 tail was absorbing it at an alarming rate as the 10 tail let out a roar as he has finally transformed into the final stage of the 10 tails. As Naruto smiled at that, this 10 tail already had the basics and it has absorbed all the natural energy that resides in this small dimension. But do not think that this dimension is that small. It was comparable to any of the three so-called holy places of the shinobi world. As Naruto looked towards the Tente, who was now glaring towards Naruto, wanted to eat him away, as Naruto scoffed at that as he brought out from his dimension the form of Toneri, which was still pinned down by his chakra rods. As Naruto grabbed Toneri, who looked towards Naruto even though he cannot see Naruto, as he could already feel the power of the 10 tails. But how? How is that even possible? The Gedomazo was summoned few years ago. They should not be able to gather all the 9 Bijus. The Usushi clan was keeping an eye on the progress of the so-called Akatsuki organization. They should not have been able to gather all the Bijus just yet. As Naruto smiled at that, for the 10 tails to make a chakra fruit, a member of the Usushi clan must be sacrificed through the 10 tails. So therefore, thanks for your sacrifice. With that, Naruto threw the form of Toneri, who wanted to say something, into the mouth of the 10 tails, who closes his, as 10 tail, who was still roaring towards Naruto, finally closes his eyes as if he was calmed down or tamed as the 10 tailed body started to glow as it turned into a gigantic tree planted in the dimension of Naruto. As Naruto started to float into that, as the tree finally opened, a flower. Inside of the flower was a shining form of a chakra fruit. As Naruto smiled at that, as Naruto grabbed the chakra fruit and finally ate it. As Naruto could feel it, his power, it was increasing. His Rinnegan was becoming stronger and stronger. Now, his Rinnegan has also evolved into two Rinne Sharingans combined with the immense power of the Tensegan, as well as his own inherited Rinnegan, which has evolved even further. And two black Rinne guns finally appeared in both of Naruto's hand. As Naruto looked towards his power, which has skyrocketed, Naruto has to believe that it seemed that this was the true way for him to become stronger, while the power of the Usuki clan member was great, and he can turn them into chakra fruits. But once a member of a powerful Usuki clan is sacrificed to the Ten-Tail, the fruits are even greater. As Naruto burst into laughter, his power has grown to the level that he do not need to worry about anything. And now it seemed that he has new plans for these 10 tails as well as these Usushi clan members. As Naruto smiled at that and finally disappeared from this dimension. Now let us start the Chunin exam. Minato looked towards all the members of Konoha who has finally decided to participate in the finals of the Chunin exam as Minato smiled at that. As Minato decided to give a small speech, but not unknown to Minato, around him was not the Kashikage, but rather Orochimaru disguised as Kashikage, and beside Minato was the third Hokage, as Orochimaru has finally arrived to take down the third Hokage for his own agenda, but unknown to Orochimaru, he was not the star of the day. While, on the other hand, Minato gave a small speech about the Villa Fire and the friendship and alliance between the Shinobi villages, and finally, it was time for the Chunin exam to begin. And the first match was none other than Neji Hyuga versus Uzumaki Naruto. And finally, the proctor announced the battle. Naruto, while on the other hand, has already absorbed so many Byakugans and the techniques of the Byakugans, even though the Otsutski so-called Otsutski member believe that they're superior to the Hyuga clan member, but the techniques are similar, too similar. So Naruto finally looked towards Neji Hyuga. Honestly, he was bored about this whole thing, but it was a good play time. So Naruto finally looked towards Neji Hyuga, who started to speak up. You should give up. I know about you. You're the so-called firstborn of Hokage and have awoken the power of the Mokitan. But that doesn't change anything. Your fate is to be a loser, and I do not believe that without the Moketan, you are anything special. You only got lucky. So if you truly believe that you are superior to me, fight me fair and square and do not use the power of the Moketan, as Neji was trying to provoke Naruto into not using the abilities of the first Hokage. After all, that bloodline was simply far too powerful compared to Byakugan, and Neji Hyuga wanted to show his resolve, so therefore he was trying to provoke Naruto, as Naruto simply looked towards Neji with a bored expression on his face. You want me to not to use the power of the Mokitan, isn't that right? Well then, I will grant your wish. I will not use the power of the Mokitan, so bring it on, Hyuga. Show me everything you got. Astonage smirk at that, just like he previously thought. He has researched about Naruto. There was nothing special other than the power of the first Hokage. He has somehow awoken, but Neji do not believe that Naruto has complete control over it, and therefore he was not worthy enough for him to take seriously. If we do not use the power of the first Hokage, Asnaji smirk at that and move with blinding speed for many Chunins and appeared in front of Naruto 8 trigrams, 64 palms. With that, Neji released the 64 palms towards Naruto, who was simply standing there, taking all the hits, as Neji afterward jumped back with a smirk on his face. Just like I previously thought, you are truly a loser. If you have used the power of Mokitan, you would be able to stop me, but now I have already seen. But before he could complete his sentence, Naruto was upon him, and a slap was placed on the face of Neji, sending him flying into the wall, shattering it apart as Neji could not believe his eyes. Before he could even show off, he was sent flying like a dead dog. As Naruto looked towards him with a bored expression on his face. You have poked me several times, but other than that, that technique of yours cannot block away my powers. Why don't you activate your Byakugan and see it once again? As Neji gritted his teeth, he was barely able to stand at this point. That single slap took away half of the life of Neji Hyuga, but he still activated his Byakugan. He cannot believe his eyes. Why? Why is that? He has already released the secret technique of the Hyuga clan member and sealed away the points of Naruto. He should be taken down. But now, looking towards Naruto, even one look towards Naruto was blinding. Naruto's chakra, it was white, glowing white, like the very light itself. It was so much that Neji closed his eyes, he could not even see where the chakra points were blocked previously. Naruto was hiding his chakra. That was the reason. He saw the chakra points and thought that he had sealed them away, but Naruto's body was something else. The chakra points cannot be sealed away. His chakra was simply too much. As Naruto looked towards Neji and pointed a finger towards Neji, as the Rasengan started to form, as it started to become bigger and bigger, and within seconds, a gigantic Rasengan, which has almost covered the sky, was pointed towards Neji, try to survive. With that, Naruto threw the gigantic Rasengan towards Neji, who was taken aback. He was just a Genin, and he should not be taken. This kind of attack should be used on a Biju, not on a Janin, as Neji was panicking now. He didn't even thought about rotation. That may be so called perfect defense, but this kind of technique, it was an SS rank technique. Suddenly, a barrier appeared in front of the technique, as this was the space-time barrier which Minato has put up there. And finally, just like the Bijudama in the original timeline of the 90s attack, the gigantic Rasengan was pulled into the barrier and far away from Konoha into a mountainside. A huge explosion took place. As Naruto smirked at that, looking toward the stadium, Minato was looking towards Naruto with a small frown on his face. Honestly, Neji was also a genius and he did not want to lose it, and he just wanted to show the strength. While Naruto has shown the strength of Konoha, he was not exactly happy with Naruto using this kind of dangerous technique towards Neji, but Minato did not thought too much of it. After all, at the moment, Naruto was the greatest chess piece he has, and he cannot have problems with Naruto whatsoever. And looking towards Naruto, that amount of chakra, even Minato himself cannot make that kind of gigantic Rasengan. Even the Jinchurikis of the Nine Tails would have to think twice while using this kind of this amount of chakra. But looking towards Naruto, could it be? It was because the Mokidan, after all, first Hokage is said to have more chakra than Mito Uzumaki, who was the Jinchuriki at that time, and the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails and a member of the Uzumaki clan. But still, the first Hokage had far greater chakra than Mito Uzumaki. So Minato thought that it was the effect of the Mokidan which gave Naruto this much chakra. While Orochimaru, who was now looking towards Naruto, with a bit of fear in his eyes. After all, he did not forget what happened in the forest of death. He was able to live thanks to the forbidden techniques, but at the moment he was truly scared of Naruto. But he was Orochimaru and he cannot abandon his plans just yet. As he looked towards Naruto with another fearful expression on his face, while on the other hand Naruto simply as the battle has finally ended, now let us go on. Finally, the other battle started to start, like Uchiha Sasuke versus Menma Uzumaki, but it was a battle which Menma easily was able to win. After all, Sasuke only had 3 Tomo while Menma was a Jinchuriki. His power was far greater than that of Sasuke. So I'm gonna skip the most of the parts. And now, finally, the time has arrived, the finals of the Chunin exam. And it was gonna be a 3-way battle between Uzumaki Naruto versus Uzumaki Menma and Uzumaki Mito. As Minato looked towards it, he has already knew about this outcome. Naruto has the power of the first Hokage, Menma was a Jinchuriki of a Nine Tails, and Mito was also a Jinchuriki. So therefore, they had great chance of coming together, and even though Naruto knew that most likely Menma and Mito would be defeated by Naruto, after all, Minato now believed that Jiraiya Sensei was right, Naruto is the true child of destiny. So therefore, he knows that Naruto would be able to win this battle, but this will show the strength of Konoha, two Jinchurikis, and the power of the first Hokage. That should be enough for all of Konoha to know that these are the children of the fourth Hokage. And he, Minato Namikaze, was the only true Hokage, and third Hokage is nothing, and the Elder Council is also nothing, and he is the only authority in Konoha and all across the shinobi world. As Minato smiled at that, while on the other hand, third Hokage frowned at that, he could already see the minor moves which Minato has made, but no one can actually accuse Minato of anything. After all, this could be beneficial for Konoha. On top of that, all three the children of the fourth Hokage, each one more powerful than the other. The weakest one, even Mito, was already on a level of a Jonin, and using the power of the Nine Tails, she could even take down many of the elite Jonins as well. As sigh, maybe it is time for him to be completely retired, but he doubt that even if he take a step back, the Elder Council will let Minato have all the power of Konoha. As Tadokage simply sigh at that, while on the other hand Minato has a bright smile on his face. He has already taken a lot of power from Third as well as the Elder Council for himself, and he was really happy about it. As Naruto finally entered in the stadium looking towards Menma and Mito, he has already defeated them, especially Mito, who previously used the power of a otsutski, but Naruto's eyes narrowed at that. Naruto could feel it. The genetics of Mito were somehow changing into that of the otsutski member. As Naruto frowned at that, but Naruto closes his eyes as he sensed Mito has a mark on her hand, and according to the memories of Ishiki and Joshin, that should be karma mark. But Naruto has already separated Joshin from Mito's body. As Naruto frowned at that, maybe the mark will work independently. It will turn the body of Mito into that of pure-blooded Otsutsuki member. Maybe she could be useful for the future, like a sacrifice for the Ten Tails. As Naruto thought in his mind, while the genetics of Mito can turn into that of a Otsutsuki member, but Naruto doubted that Mito would be ever powerful enough to be a threat to him. So Naruto simply dismissed Mito, while on the other hand Menma was also becoming a bit stronger. The strange chakra inside of Menma's body was making him stronger and stronger. But Naruto dismissed both of them. They were nothing compared to him, and they will never be his match. As Menma stepped forward, well Naruto, I must say that in the previous Mines, you have truly impressed me. You have truly shown that my arrogance previously as a great prodigy were misplaced, but I have worked hard in these months and I and Mito have finally made ourselves stronger. So in this battle, even if you use the power of the first Hokage, the Mokitan, I will show you my resolve and my determination to become Hokage. And I do not know what other people will say if anyone were to be a threat to the shinobi world or to Konoha. I, Menma Uzumaki, will be the first one to disagree, as many people were at awe of the determination of Menma. After all, Menma was the reincarnation of Ashura, so therefore his determination cannot be underestimated. As Naruto simply smirked at that, as Mito also stepped forward. Ha, I've also become stronger, so this time I will show you my determination. With that, Menma and Mito looked towards each other as both of them closes their eyes. As Naruto raised an eyebrow at that, it seemed that there was something new as both Menma and Mito's aura started to change as orange flames surrounded their body, and just like that, a chakra cloak surrounded both Menma and Mito as both Menma and Mito smirked towards each other after the discussion and the whole scenario of Jashin with Mito. The other nine tails started to contact with his other half and explain everything about this Otsutski member who surrounded Mito and the things that are going on, as the both of the nine tails finally came to the conclusion that they have to cooperate with their respective Jinchuriki. So therefore, Menma and Mito have truly transformed into the perfect Jinchurikis. Minato stood up from the stadium. He could not believe his eyes. Even Third Hokage was in utter shock. This was the power of the nine tails. And no one, even Mito Uzumaki, could not use his full power like this. This was a form of a perfect Jinchuriki, as while inside of the seal, both the seals of Menma and Mito were already opened, while on the other hand, Kushina smiled at that. She has been training Menma and Mito for the last month, and both of them were able to achieve this form. Even she, as a previous Jinchuriki, was unable to achieve this power, as Menma and Mito smiled at that and looked towards Naruto. Alright, Naruto, use the power of the first Hokage, and but trust me, we are the one who are gonna defeat you. With that, both of them disappeared with blinding speeds and appeared in front of Naruto, and both of them has fist ready to slam into Naruto and make him send flying. It was truly something else. But to the utter shock of Menma and Mito, Naruto did not even move from his location. The ground shattered from where Naruto was standing, but Naruto was still standing there, looking towards Menma and Mito with a smile on his face. Honestly, it was a bit surprising. Especially you, Mito. You seem to have adopted to the power of nine tails even greater than that of Menma. That was something else. But then again, it is my turn. With that, Naruto opened his eyes as in the stadium, Jiraiya stood up. He could not believe his eyes. How is that possible? Those eyes, how did Naruto possess them? The Rinnegan was now in the eyes of Naruto, who looked towards Menma and Mito within seals. Both half of the nine tails were in utter shock. Those are the eyes of old man. The power of Ashura can be understood. After all, Hashirama had it, and Naruto, as a relative to the Senju clan, he also had chances of inheriting it. But this was the power of the Sage of Six Paths. As Jiraiya spoke up, the Rinnegan, how is that possible? Even Minato's, you can say, looked toward those eyes, and finally the description finally came to his mind. The Rinnegan, even Orochimaru, was in utter shock. All the Jonis who knew about the legend of great three dojutsu were in utter shock, looking towards Naruto. The power of first Hokage was already enough to stand at the pinnacle of the shinobi world, and once the power of the Rinnegan is also woken, could it be that Naruto is the reincarnation of the Sage of Six Paths? Both Menma and Mito took a step back in utter shock as Naruto smirked at that. What's the matter? Weren't you showing off? Weren't you so arrogant with the power of the nine tails? Then, let me show you the power which birthed the Bijus in the first place, the Rinnegan itself. So, let's show me everything you got, brother, sister. With that, Naruto disappeared and appeared in front of Menma and Mito as Naruto pointed towards them. Shinra Tensei, with that huge gravitational force, slammed into Menma and Mito, sending them flying into the walls, shattering them apart. As Naruto smirked at that, bring it on, as Menma finally, as both Menma and Mito quickly came out of the wall, the gravitational force was powerful, but they were the Jinchurikis. The Nine Tails was completely healing them. They have several broken bones. After all, Naruto is not Nagato. His power was far, far greater than Nagato could ever hope for. as Naruto smirked towards Menma and Mito as both of them looked towards each other and nodded and disappeared from the place. Two gigantic Rasengans were formed in their hands as they threw it towards Naruto and started to go through hand signs, one technique after another. Hundreds of shadow clones appear as all of them attack Naruto, but Naruto simply smirked and raised one finger, Shinra Tensei, as the gravitational force slammed into hundreds of techniques, destroying them apart. Even the Rasengan, Naruto casually kicked it away outside of Konoha like it was a football, as Naruto finally appeared in front of Menma and Mito, and the taijutsu between all three started to begin, but it was completely one-sided. Naruto was far stronger than Menma and Mito could ever hope for, as the battle started to go completely one-sided as both Menma and Mito looked towards each other. They have to use more powerful techniques as both of them nodded at that. Alright Naruto, you asked for it. With that, Menma left out a roar as well as Mito said the same, and with that, both of them finally transformed into the two halves of the nine tails and let out a roar as the ground started to shake as Minato started to go through hand sign. With that, a gigantic barrier started to form in the stadium and completely saving all the civilians that are present there as Minato let out a sigh of relief as looking towards Menma and Mito transform into the two halves of Nine Tails. For a moment, when Menma and Mito used the power of the Nine Tails, Minato thought that maybe they were the true children of destiny. But once the Rinnegan activated, all thoughts of the children of destiny were thrown out of Minato's mind. The Rinnegan itself. He could not believe it. Even Third Hokage at this point has given up any thoughts of resisting Minato. After all, his children have the perfect Jinchuriki. His other child have the power of the first Hokage. If that was not enough, he has awoken the Rinnegan. Maybe the rumors he is hearing at this point, the murmuring among the Jonin that Naruto was a reincarnation of the Sage of Six Paths, were truly true. Konoha may be blessed, but Third Hokage could not feel any joy in it. After all, he was losing all the power which he has gained over the years, as Tadokage simply sighed at that, while on the other hand Menma and Mito look towards Naruto. Alright Naruto, give up. You cannot defeat us. As Naruto simply looked towards Menma and Mito and burst into laughter. You want to use size to intimidate me. Honestly, I thought that these Chunin exams would be boring, but it seemed that these Chunin exams are gonna be fun. So, let us begin. With that, Naruto casually started to move over the bodies of the Nine Tails as they tried to use their tails to attack Naruto. But just like when Naruto and Sasuke fought Ishiki, the battle was completely the same. Within seconds, Naruto has destroyed the half of Menma to smithereens as Menma was already on the ground glaring towards Naruto. His avatar of the 9 days was destroyed with a single punch of Naruto. What kind of monster this is? Even the 9 days at this point has given up hope. But Menma once again decided to choose his trump card as he said, Mito, we have to use that now. As Mito grated her teeth but nodded nonetheless far away. Two shadow clones of Menma and Mito were present as both of them activated their nine-tail mode and made small avatars of the nine tails who started to gather the natural energy and finally dismiss themselves as both Menma and Mito's eyes changed and their avatar of the nine tails became even stronger. While it was not same as that of Naruto after he had gained the power of the Sage of Six Paths, but it was still far stronger than the original self of the Nine Tails as Naruto looked towards their even bigger size and sighed. Honestly, he had hoped that he would have more fun, but if they really want size, well then, let us begin. Wood style, great Buddha, 1000 hands. With that, Naruto slapped his hand together, ground started to shake as a gigantic form of Buddha appeared from the ground made up of pure wood, and with that, the Buddha started to make appeared his 1000 hands. Not enough, as Naruto said, Susabuddha. With that, a golden Susanoo started to surround the form of the 1000 hand Buddha. As Naruto looked towards Menma and Mito, who were in utter shock, the gigantic form of the Susa Buddha was now in front of them. As Naruto moved, only two hands of 1000 hand, as two hands casually grabbed both halves of the nine tails like puppies, as Naruto brought them in front of him. Is that all you have? The power of the nine tails was being suppressed in the hands of the Susanoo. 1000 hand Susa Buddha. As Naruto simply smiled at that while in the stadium Even Orochimaru at this point was thinking that he should run away, as the Sand Jonins have already given up any thought of attacking Konoha. They were loyal, but they did not want to die. As Naruto smirked at that, he could already feel that the power of Nine Tails was suppressed thanks to his 1000 hand technique covered by Susanoo. It was enough to suppress the power of the Nine Tails, and within seconds, Menman Mito has already lost consciousness at that. As Naruto looked towards the defeated form of them, maybe he should make some generals for himself, as Naruto thought in his mind. But suddenly, Naruto looked into the sky, he could feel it. Two powerful energy signature have entered in the shinobi world and they're coming here fast as Naruto's Rinnegan eyes narrowed at that and then a huge smile came to Naruto's face. He was thinking about the sacrifices and it seemed that two of them had decided to show themselves. Momoshiki and Kinshiki has finally arrived in the shinobi world. Now you look at that. I never thought that there would be a filthy creature here who has somehow stolen the powers of the Usushi clan. Isn't that right, Kinshiki? As Kinshiki spoke up, it seemed that he has awoken the Rinnegan, but he is not a member of the Usushi, but somehow he has stolen our power. My lord, give me orders and I will take him down now. As Naruto smirked towards them, who will take who down? It is yet to be determined. Ususkis, or maybe should I say, my dearest chakra fruits. And with that, Naruto smirk at that. But hey guys, I'm gonna end this part here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. For the next part, the is gonna be 100 likes and 20 comments. Do that and I shall upload the next part as soon as possible. So yeah guys, see you soon. Peace.